Hey guys, today we are doing another reaction video. I have never seen this video. It is the second most watched Architectural Digest 80 Open Door series. So we're doing this, hopefully you like it, and I'm gonna show you and talk about a couple cool things and how we can relate it to what we're doing, building homes, and hopefully you get something out of it. Let's go.
What's up guys? My name is Zedd.
All right,
and
so
welcome to my home.
This is Zedd's house. I'm just gonna be honest, I don't know who that is, but it's obviously a crazy contemporary home. We don't have views like that in Dallas, but we can look past that here.
So the way this is structured for me is that this section of the house is work.
So
the bottom part will be the studio.
He's got this cool idea where he's got a studio and work and gym in one section of the house.
And this is like
and then he's got another section of the house that's living.
I don't know how, but nobody's
I think that's pretty cool that you're kind of sectioning off the house. I think it's really relevant, but you need a bigger lot to do it.
Drunk or not drunk, please don't be the first one. This is the small door to the house. You can, when you open it,
so a couple of cool things here, and one he hasn't even talked about, but you can see the actual entryway that he's walking on. It's kind of this what we call diamond polished concrete entryway, and in this case it's like essentially a bridge. It's probably not a real bridge, but it gives the appearance of that. I've always wanted to do that on a house. I think it's really cool to bring in water, especially when you're not on the beach, when you're in Texas, specifically Dallas, where we are. We don't have an ocean right here. And so I think this is a cool way to bring in a water element to the house. I also do love this pivot door. That is a huge door. It's really, really cool. It's not crazy functional. I can just tell you that from experience, but it is a cool pivot door.
I'll go here.
So the other thing is, I love in that scene before how you've got that water that's going inside the house and there's got some bubblers. So it's not still water, it actually shows you that it's water because it's bubbling.
Unfortunately, it is dying. So I'm going to replace it with an artificial tree that looks just like this. And I've always
wanted to build a house around a tree. I think that's so cool. So he's got a Control 4 system. You can tell I have that system personally, so I know exactly what that is. That house, that system can control his entire house, from his lighting, from his HVAC, from his alarm system. There's a lot of people today that talk about tech and like smart home, and they're like, oh, I don't need an AV package because I'm gonna have Ring doorbell, I'm gonna have Sonos speakers, and you have 7 different apps on your phone running your house. This is a cool centralized system that does everything, and it's honestly, in the affordability spectrum, it's pretty affordable comparatively.
Currently, this wall is just
I really like how he has this unique wall that is wood grain. So in a soft modern house, I think that whenever you can bring, or a contemporary house, whenever you can bring in some elements of wood and really unique pieces, I think that's really important. It gives the space warmth. This is obviously a pretty stark modern house, and so it can go cold really fast. And I think that wood element, bookshelf wood element's a cool way to bring in some warmth.
I love the ceilings
here
because it gives you
let's talk ceiling heights. I do think that in a house like this, when you have, I don't know, 25, 35 foot tall ceilings, it is all about scale. I was just in a meeting recently where we were talking about ceiling heights, and we were talking about a 14-foot ceiling in a bathroom, and that's just too big unless you have a monstrous bathroom. And for most people, that's just not the case. And I would argue, even if you have a monstrous bathroom, 14-foot ceiling is just too high. It's not going to give you that cozy feel that most people want in a bathroom.
There's benches here.
In this case, this is kind of a gallery where we are, and so he can get away with it.
This is the Skittles machine.
There you go. Everybody has to have a Skittles machine when you're building or remodeling or decorating your house.
Let's go outside. This is one of the many ways to leave the house. So we can kind of see these stairs here. These stairs will eventually continue all the way down to the railing, and then that's where the guest house bowling alley.
So this is interesting. He's talking about where his bowling alley, where his future kind of auxiliary spaces are going to be. So even Zedd, I don't know who that is, that's got a $16 million mansion is what the title of this video says. Even he is programming and he's staging the builds. And I think that's smart when you are looking at buying a property and building a home or remodeling and you know it's your forever home. You don't have to do it all at once. You don't have to go all out. Even when it comes to decorating, you don't have to, I think we did this in our dining room. Like there was things that we wanted to do in our dining room and layer it with some more wood tones and maybe some wallpapers to bring some warmth, but we didn't do it. We were gonna live with it first and see how we liked it. And I think that's important. Even Zedd is doing that. He's programming future buildings and future spaces in the house.
The pool has to be at 97 degrees. That's just how pools should be. The hot tub
That's
is
a cool
in the
design
pool,
for
and you can't really see it when the
for a hot
overflow's
tub
on,
inside a
and
pool.
then when you turn it
We've
over
done that
to
a ton.
jacuzzi
It
mode,
looks really
then
cool.
the water
It
level
actually
just lowers
works well.
slightly, and then the jacuzzi stands out. So this place
In
was
today's
built
day and age,
kinda like a resort.
pools
All
are
the
a
guest
hot
bedrooms
topic.
are all
Everybody
back to
wants
back, and
one
everybody
if you
has
don't have
direct
one,
access
but it's
to
almost
the pool.
impossible to
There's
get
an
one built
outside
in today's
barbecue
market.
area with obviously the barbecue.
So something to think about here, I'll pause it. When we talk about patios, and this isn't really a patio, this is just this outdoor entertaining area, but when we talk about a hot topic, when we're building, remodeling, helping clients with their home, and we're talking about their outdoor eating area, their kitchen area, what's really important is to think about the wind. Is just where's the wind coming from, because when I'm cooking, whether it's in the summer or the winter or the spring or the fall, that wind's going to come at different directions. And what's going to happen that's going to kill your eating vibe and your cooking vibe is that you're going to be cooking, or you might be smoking a brisket or cooking hamburgers, whatever, and that wind coming into your patio area is going to blow that smoke around from your grill. And if you've got a covered patio, it's going to stay in there and swirl around, and it's going to be smoky. So it's just something to think about. And if you can't get around that, just the way you've designed your home or you've already purchased your home, you could always put in a Vent-A-Hood to help get that smoke out of the covered patio area and get it out.
And there's another sink and a fridge that I think...
When we talk about appliances outside, normally we just do a simple under-counter fridge, and that's just about it. We really don't even do sinks all the time. It's just really a fridge and some storage. So this is interesting. So this is a guest bedroom, it sounds like he's saying. I kind of missed that in the very beginning. And he's got that automatic rolling sliding window or door. You know, those things aren't super functional. We talk about this all the time with our clients when we're talking about doing a slider door and a huge opening. A big slider is not always crazy functional. And so that's something to think about, is that especially just in a guest bedroom, you can get away with just a single door that opens or a set of French doors that open. But I think people tend, when you're designing something, to go super big in a guest bedroom or spaces that are kind of secondary spaces, and you don't need to do that. This could be a great way to save money. Obviously, that's not what he was trying to do here.
And you can go straight into the pool.
Let's look at the bathroom.
So this is my brother's bathroom. These blinds here
are
currently on a timer.
Automatic shades
they go up at 6 or
are
7
important
so when my brother takes
to
a
think
shower,
through if you're building
outside,
or remodeling. You have to plan for that ahead of time if you want that shade pocket, is what we call it, the actual roll of the shade to fit in the ceiling so that it's completely hidden. When you click a button or you click a remote, it goes down and it comes out of the ceiling. You have to think about that ahead of time. But there are plenty of aftermarket products that essentially create like a valance, which, look it up. And ultimately that valance hides where the shade pocket is because you didn't have the time and you didn't think through it ahead of time, or it's just a remodel or you bought your home. You didn't have time to put it in the ceiling. So that valance or that shade box is sitting outside at the very top of your window, and it still functions the same though. I can't tell in this video exactly what they've done, but automatic shades are really popular, really unique way to add something to your house.
Nice view. Nobody in here. Oh wait. I thought that's
so this is interesting. This is the AV closet when we're building and designing homes. You've always have to figure out where to put this. The AV closet's really important. It needs to be a certain size. It needs to be vented a certain way. And I think people think, oh, AV closet, like I don't need that. Well, you may not need that. But even, and you could see it in that shot, he has those Sonos boxes. Even if you have just basic Sonos boxes, where are you going to put them? And so it's just important to think through where are you going to put your Apple TVs, where are you going to put your Sonos, which is like really basic in a higher end home. And then you need a system or something to tie it all together so that you can control it unless you want to go to the individual apps. So we always think about that, and we always try to remember to think about that when we're remodeling or building.
And the goal for me.
So this is his Costco room. People call it an Amazon closet.
Anything I could ever use, so I eventually don't have to leave the house. These are also probably the largest stairs ever.
So interesting he said this, and I like it. We call this the metaphysics. It's the thing that you feel in a home, but you cannot put words to. So you'll leave the house. If you went up a staircase, let's call it, that's 5 foot wide instead of 4 foot wide, and let's just say that the risers of the stairs aren't as big, they're shorter, and the treads are wider, it gives you a more graceful walk up the stairs. That's actually what he just said. He said it gives you a more pleasant ability to walk up the stairs or run up the stairs. People notice those things, but they don't know exactly why. They can't put their words to it. They can't say, oh, these stairs feel a lot more graceful and the risers aren't as tall. That's what it is. The risers aren't as tall. The tread is longer or wider. And in this case, it's a floating staircase. I don't know if this is any wider than 4 feet. It might be. I know that that's one of the tricks to the trade that I'm bringing to you first, is that anytime I can add 1 foot in width to a staircase, it makes all the difference in the world, and people notice it.
All right, this is the master. Welcome.
Master area. So this would be cool to see what he did. So you can tell it's automatically warmer. I love this. I'm going to pause it here. It's warmer. The ceilings are dropped. They're darker. I don't know if that's paint, if that's plaster, or if it's a metal, but he's dropped those ceilings down. And I think that is really important, because in a house like this with those huge ceilings, you've got to provide some reprieve somewhere where there's a cozy space. And I think just from looking at it right off the bat, he's done a good job.
This view is beautiful and amazing to have, but I can't sleep if it's not completely dark. So this is saving my life right here. You can just click the button. So
that's the remote for the automatic shades. So this is interesting. So this is one way to do the shades, is where it all just kind of is on a track, and it's a motorized track. It's bringing the shades around versus it dropping down. That's pretty cool though.
Now it's ready.
There's a couple different things with shades that you have to think through too. In that case, you're trying to think through the way that it blacks out the sun coming inside out, and so that's important to think through. Looking at the patio, looking at the railing, the glass.
It's a
It's
really
going to be
nice
a
place
bear
have
to
a
clean
coffee
at all
if you
times.
Drink coffee or watch TV if you don't want to watch TV inside.
So a couple things to think about on, I think, just the idea of a patio is, when I've designed homes and remodeled homes for people, there's always this idea that you want to put a patio here and put a patio off the master bathroom, put a patio off the library. I think, just like anything, too much of anything can be a bad thing. And I think too many patios, too big of patios, too big of spaces can be bad things. They don't create warmth and coziness where you want to go to them. And so I think, I couldn't tell exactly, they didn't show us a great shot of that, but I did love the wood on the floors. That looked like probably an ipe or a teak. I do think that provides some warmth. It's got a fireplace, a sitting arrangement around the fireplace and the TV. And then obviously they've got the really cool views. People do a lot of times want to do those glass, those glass balcony railings, instead of doing just like your typical kind of metal or wood. The one thing to think of is they are actually expensive because they have to be a certain thickness, and they are just a little challenging, just because they do require a little bit more maintenance to clean, or else they get really dirty, foggy, and they look worse than just a typical railing, because typical railing, it needs to be cleaned off, but you don't have to like Windex it.
The fire outside if you don't like fire inside. So this is the bathroom.
Here's what's interesting in a video like this. Like, you've got Architectural Digest coming over, and the shower looks like he just took a shower in it 2 seconds ago.
Once, because I feel like when you buy a house with a bathtub like this, you have to use it. So I did.
So real quick in that bathroom, I think what's interesting is the shower, you could see, was kind of raised up a little bit. Typically that's not out of design. That's actually due to the fact that they were trying to waterproof it in a certain way. And in a house like this, there's a lot of cool ways that you can actually create a seamless approach with that shower and the wood floors. It is tricky to waterproof it perfectly, but what we always tell our clients is, if you want to do that and you want to make it flush with the wood floors, you're going to get some water outside of it. So you just need to know that you need to build that into your kind of maintenance program. You're going to have to probably fix it down the line, meaning just sanding it and finishing it and restanding the wood floors that abut that shower. Not a great idea, but it can look really cool, especially in a modern home. I apologize for
the mess. And then the other side, meant to be hers, but it's shoes.
Most people, including me, don't have a shoe closet. That's okay.
I guess you can tell.
Here's the kitchen and the family room.
Main part of
Been
the
waiting
house.
to see kind of what they did here.
Kitchen, the sort of dining area, and the living space. This works as a dining table as well. It has
There you go.
hibachi
Built-in
grills,
hibachi
and then
grills.
there's 4 ovens.
Everybody needs a built-in
4.
hibachi grill. I'm gonna stop that. Never seen a built-in hibachi grill. It's cool. Is it needed? Absolutely not, unless you were maybe the founder of Benihana. So here's the other thing that's kind of cool is I'm looking at his setup. One thing that I do endorse completely, not because I'm getting paid to do it, because I've had it before and I'm a huge coffee drinker. I'm drinking coffee all throughout the day. The Miele coffee maker that he's gonna show here, and they're probably gonna even bleep or blur that name out that I just said because this isn't a paid advertisement by them, is amazing. He's got that, he's done it well. You can see what's interesting, and regardless of my opinion of a coffee maker, is he's got the microwave, the coffee maker, and then the 2 ovens below it. But he's done a great job with his designer. He probably didn't do it with the architect and designer to keep all those appliances in one area and keep it symmetrical. I think that's a cool idea.
I don't know. When you want to make 4 cakes at the same time, I guess.
So this is interesting because here he has the 2 wall ovens, and now he has a range with 2 ovens below as well. I mean, that is probably just unnecessary unless you are you're a chef, unless you own a restaurant and you are cooking at all times. And you need that many ovens. Typically you see when people go with the wall ovens, they're gonna go to a range top or a cooktop instead of what they have here, which gives him the functionality to have the cooktop on top and the ovens below. Probably just not needed as far as the amount of appliances there.
It's a pot filler, so you don't have to.
It's interesting. The pot filler is kind of
do it right here.
Kind
That's when I knew that I wanted
died is in a way. Like I cannot tell you the last time I put a pot filler in. It's certainly functional. But what's interesting is, and I don't know, I mean, this isn't my expertise, quite frankly, is thinking through kind of the evolution of food. But I think when we had more of a kind of pasta carb based diet, I think that was very popular if you think about it. Like if I'm building a home for an Italian family that's cooking pasta and needing to put water in a pot at all times when they're cooking, then that's gonna be super functional. I can't tell you the last time that I needed to fill my pot up with water and it wasn't just a turn right behind me at my sink and then I turn back. So it's not that expensive, but I have not seen, I know one time we did one recently, but it's been a long time. So it's interesting to see that. It used to be the pot fillers were all the rage. If you didn't have a pot filler, the house wasn't high end.
In the kitchen and in the preparation kitchen, there's built-in vacuums.
Okay,
so
this is a built-in central vac system. Plenty of people do it, and plenty of people say, nah, not for me. It's set up with essentially like a PVC or a tube system throughout the whole house. So that actually goes and home runs back to essentially the garage where there is essentially something like a shop vac, and it sucks all the air when you kick that lever. That shop vac turns on, it starts sucking air so that all you have to do is actually sweep to this area and put all the dirt into that area. I will tell you, just for us at our home building company, people don't really ask for that often. Maybe it's because we don't tell them that it's an option. Maybe we don't really push it as, oh, it's something we really think you ought to do. I think it's just personally just a little weird that you're gonna take trash and instead of putting it in a trash can and you immediately put it out, you're actually putting that trash into your house, like underneath the cabinets. And I know it goes somewhere, but to me, like, I think for certain personalities, all I'd be thinking is, but like, what if that suction isn't getting that all the way from my kitchen all the way to my garage, and there's just like trash being built up underneath there? I wouldn't personally do it.
Prepare
it's
food
a
and you drop
kind of a
something,
cool feature.
You just kick it in and it goes.
Okay, I think that's kind of interesting that he's got like, drinks on a drink fridge on his countertop in a house like that. I mean, he's got plenty of appliances, he's got plenty of fridges. I don't know if that's maybe a paid sponsor for him, but I think that that's a little interesting. Like typically when you're custom building or designing or buying a home like this, you're gonna have a place for just about everything, not like a appliance that you can buy from a big box retailer and sit it on top of your countertop.
This is the main living area.
So I do like the sunken down area to the family room. I think that's cool. I think that that's a big mid-century modern feature that used to be done a ton, and I really love it. I think it's a unique way to create interest and intrigue in the family room and do something different, which we're always trying to do. We're always trying to come up with something different, another way to add interest to a room. And I do like the board game table in the family room. It just gives the family room another function.
So this fireplace is right underneath the other fireplace.
To me, I don't think that fireplace is all that. I mean, to me, I think that just personally, I don't like that stone. I think it's a little busy for that huge wall. I think you could do something 15 times cooler right there for this house and this price point. That's just a normal linear fireplace. And I just think there could be a lot more that you do with that could really raise the bar in the family room, because that's such a big family room.
These doors open and hide in...
Come on, Zedd. Show us the doors that hide.
Wood piece. All the doors from all the rooms hide in there. So I can kind of open this for you.
All right, here we go. Here we go. That's cool. So here's what's interesting. You see that black column behind him over his right shoulder? That's what's structurally holding up that area so that those windows can do that. I don't know. I can't see the whole shot here of this house, but I think that's weak execution. I just think you don't need that beam there. You could have structurally designed and thought through the house in a way that you didn't have that, and it could be more dramatic. You've got windows and doors that completely open up, but you got a beam right there. Kind of weird. I do love the seamless inside-outside. I like how they accomplish that threshold, which is the way a door either slides or pivots or closes. It's recessed into the floor, and that's the way to do it.
The rooftop, I think if I ever really have...
I don't even want to speak to the rooftop patio, rooftop anything, because I'm jealous. I'm gonna confess, I'm jealous.
So
I want a rooftop patio. Now, that fireplace, it's gonna be a challenge. If it's windy, it's blowing, that fireplace is gonna struggle to stay lit.
All right, guys, thanks for checking out my house.
Well,
I hope you enjoyed it.
I think this was a really cool house. It's not personally for me. There's plenty of features that I'd have liked to see them go a little bit more all out on, quite frankly, for the price point and for what it is. But I do think there's a lot of areas in the house that are really unique and different. I love that big front door. I think just the stained grade wood, I didn't get a great look at what kind of wood it was, if it was a white oak or whatnot, that were different and unique the way that you walked into the house. I love that polished concrete as you walked in. I love the master bedroom, how they were thoughtful enough to lower the ceilings. Anyway, I hope you learned something new, and if you did, make sure you hit that like button, and if you are not subscribed to our channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I hope you enjoyed our reaction video of Architectural Digest's second most watched open door video. Hope you have a great day.